in the
I'm
papers.
so jealous right now, and I'm sure as I was watching that, my tummy was rumbling, as I want to believe yours was as well. That looks absolutely fantastic. Prawn tails, I'm sure this can even convince Chukudi to try something a little bit different from eba and egusi soup. Well, today we're talking about food, and right now it's time to concentrate on food with regards to young children, particularly your picky eaters. Well, we have someone who says she has a secret to getting your picky eaters to actually love eating. She's the founder of Augustsecret, an award-winning entrepreneur as well as food entrepreneur. She is the founder of Augustsecret, and her name is Toyin Onigbanjo. Toyin, great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. I am excited. Thank you.
I asked you whilst we were watching that meal preparation with Olive and Chef Israel if children would like things like that. Because usually they say, fussy eaters, would they like to eat things like that?
Yes, they would, because it's properly presented. So, you know, I mean, for us adults, we actually were fascinated. So just imagine a child who doesn't like to eat. So certainly children would like it.
Okay, wonderful. Because I was looking at that and I'm thinking sometimes children just want things that are not very complicated, things that are quite straightforward. Now, you have a story behind starting off Augustsecret. Can you share that with us, please?
I had my son outside Nigeria, and he was my first. He is my first son in January 2014. So, but prior to that, I actually love to cook. I love to experiment with food. So, when I had him, you know, I mean, as it's normal for a first-time mom, I bought all sorts of jar foods. His dad and I, you know, actually invested in buying those things, even the diapers, all of those different kinds of cereals that, okay, so when we return to Nigeria, you know, we wouldn't have to bother about what he was going to eat. So on getting back to Nigeria, you know, we tried and he rejected everything, like everything. We tried all the flavors, everything. He rejected all of them. So, you know, and I needed to resume work. I was confounded. I was frustrated, like, okay, is he not going to eat and all of that? So, and then at 6 months, a child should actually begin to eat solid. So I was, I had left with no choice than to start trying African alternatives, you know. So everybody was saying, look, this boy is a Nigerian boy, you know, just let's try Nigerian foods for him. So along the line, I did a course in child nutrition, a diploma course. So I started trying out all of these recipes, trying to tweak them in an African way. And trust me, it took all of them. So I tried different textures. I realized that what he wanted was actually variety. And due to, you know, sharing with other people, with the advantage of digital media, I started sharing my recipes. People started saying, wow, this is nice. I need this, I need that. And then so that was how Augustsecret started. We had to put structure into everything, and then we started.
Amazing. How many years ago was this?
We started officially in July 2016.
Okay, July 2016.
So we're just 18 months old
and
now.
You've grown so big.
Yeah.
Amazing. Last year you were nominated for the Future Awards.
Yes.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank
now,
you
what
very
were the
much.
challenges you faced, you know, setting up a business like that, and in Nigeria in particular, getting the food items? We know the manufacturing industry is not the easiest industry, but how did you manage?
So what we did, it was actually very challenging, because it's one thing to know how to cook in the kitchen, you know, in just your own small kitchen. You're cooking for 5 or for 3 children, but now you're having to cook for hundreds and thousands of children. So we had to get staff, we had to source for raw materials in, you know, that is actually child-friendly. It's, you know, we actually needed to consider the nutritional benefits of the foods. It's not just about getting this food. So we had to do a lot of study. We had to do a lot of research. You know, it was just a gradual process, but with a good support system, we were able to get good support system. And then also, when we wanted to get our NAFDAC registration for the products, because, you know, there had been the issue of trust. I mean, you're just in your kitchen making food for babies. What tells you that?
Especially for babies, mothers
that's
will be
the
so
problem.
protective.
That was actually one of the major challenges. So, but at the time when we wanted to register for our NAFDAC, we got a concession from, I mean, there was a concession from the federal government for SMEs who actually want to, you know, produce foods in their small corner. So even with your little corner, there was just this reduction in waivers. But then NAFDAC will actually need to come to your space, wherever you're doing it, wherever you're working from, to say, okay, if you actually have the passion and you're willing to learn, you're willing to actually take corrections, do it this way, do it that way. So that was how we're able to scale through. We actually immersed ourselves into research and learning. So, and then of course I had to get new members on the team, work with nutritionists and everything. So that's actually one of the things that really helped us.
Now, why do you think some children are fussy eaters? Because some children naturally love everything, including broccolis, Brussels sprouts, and the things that people would normally say that children absolutely hate. Why do you think some children are a bit fussier than others?
Okay, I think it's natural for, everyone. So, but it's natural for everyone to choose the kind of foods they really like. But one of the factors that actually make children fuzzy is the different tastes of foods that the mother actually take during pregnancy. So somehow, it's not necessarily hereditary, but somehow socially, it could affect. So the way the mother and the father eat can actually affect the child. So if the mother, if a pregnant woman is a type that actually took different variety of foods, the child would most likely, imbibe that taste of different foods. So not just a pregnant woman taking only rice and rice, but if the mother was the kind of a woman that actually took all of those, variety of foods, fruits, vegetables, is most likely that the child will imbibe that eating habit.
So what you do whilst pregnant is there's so many things that they tell mothers to do whilst they're pregnant as it affects the child after childbirth. Wonderful.
Yes, it does.
Now, what are some of the tips you give parents who are struggling with their children, their infants, their toddlers, they're refusing food? They don't want, or either it's time to wean them and they're not accepting anything, as was the case with your son.
Okay, so the first thing to do is to be patient. Now, when a child is 6 months and, after the exclusive breastfeeding, it's time to start eating. We need to understand that the first few months, the child may not necessarily be ready. So it's okay to start at 6 months, but the baby may not be ready. So we need to be patient and understand that these babies took breast milk for a period of 6 months. So you won't just expect to bring okra or you expect to bring broccoli and the baby wouldn't kind of react. So we need to be patient. Patience is the first thing. And then two, in the process of being patient, keep trying. That's the truth. Keep trying different varieties. So some mothers come and say, oh, but my child doesn't like to eat, but all you cook is rice and noodles. For Christ's sakes, have you tried beans? Have you tried, mashing beans with plantain? With like a sprinkle of maybe spring onions to give it that kind of aroma. You've not tried. So have you tried different
smell
ways?
Smell and presentation is very important.
Yes, very, very important. And also patience. So just take your time, enjoy the process. Don't expect the child to just, today because I've learned how to make 4 or 5 different kinds of recipes, my baby must take everything today. No. So we need to understand that it's a gradual process. And so far, your baby is not losing weight. There is nothing to worry about.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so very much. I know that on your, Instagram page, parents and mothers can get tips on how to handle children who are not, such. Because I know it's such a big worry for mothers. Exactly. I know I have some friends who are parents, and the child is 6 months, and they're saying, he's not eating, what can I do? So it's great that you also use locally sourced foods, don't you?
Yes,
so you don't have to break the bank.
Sourced. No, you don't have to break the bank. All locally sourced foods, because that was what I used for my son, and I realized that it really worked. And natural foods, locally sourced foods that are close to the earth are even twice as, more nutritious as pre-made foods. So, there are 101 reasons to actually go for locally made foods.
All right, brilliant. Now, in case you didn't learn anything, just let me summarize something that's very important. We don't often think that children care about the smell of the food or how the food looks. So if you're serving like a formal dinner, you make everything look brilliant to the colors and everything, but children actually love that. If we're going to buy them colorful toys, we might as well make their food colorful as well. All right, so we can encourage our children to eat better and to eat healthier in particular, and make their food for them to be more appealing for them.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Toyin. You can find Toyin, your Instagram handle?
Yes, Augustsecret.ng.
All right, wonderful. You can get Toyin there and ask her questions if you have any more questions for her. This has been a great chat with the founder of Augustsecret, Toyin Onigbanjo, and she knows how to get your picky eaters to love to eat.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love her.